So, hi everybody. I am Rati Gorfine of Creative Calling Coaching, and I'm so excited because we're continuing our sequence on Overwhelm, and I have the privilege of interviewing my great friend and colleague Andrew Ingkavet. He is the founder of. I'm going to talk about your business a little bit.
The Music Color Method, which is a curriculum to help music teachers and parents and school owners work with the youngest beginners, teaching them music. And we totally believe that music is a skill that every child should learn because it teaches the same skills that are transferable to life, that can create future world leaders and contributors to the world.
And the reason, yes, and I was saying to Andrew on the roof a little earlier ago that I love, music is an instant mindset shift. It is so powerful. And so I know that part of your vision is that music ultimately will help create leadership, will create leaders in the world.
Exactly. We're changing the world through music.
Yes.
At
yes.
the cellular level.
At the cellular level. It's just like food. Food and music affect people on a cellular level. It's true. If I want to shift something, a mood or whatever, I turn music on. I bet a lot of you do. And the thing is, I'm fascinated. When I was a little girl, I studied the violin and I hated to practice. I hated it. My mother would literally come into my room and go, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you haven't practiced, and walk out.
Exactly like that.
Exactly like that. As you can tell, I'm a great violinist today. I know, it killed my love. It was so sad.
That is sad.
But also what happens is a lot of people I coach, yes, I want to write that play. I want to read that, I want to write that book. I want to do this. I want to build this business, but I'm so overwhelmed with the kids and taking them to school and da-da-da. And I know that any practice, whether it is a musical instrument or, a spiritual practice or a marketing practice, takes consistency. Mm-hmm. And overwhelm can really become well, it's not meant to be an excuse, but we let it stop us. So I'd love to hear you talk a little about that.
Oh, that's so
Let's
funny.
say in relation to practicing.
Yeah, so overwhelm is one of the biggest obstacles, and usually overwhelm comes from trying to do too much too soon. And because I work a lot with younger kids, I try to make stories that are relatable to young kids.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like what story? What's the story?
I say that learning a song is like eating a pie. Okay, so what's your favorite pie? And they're like, oh, pumpkin pie, apple pie, whatever. I said, when you eat the pie, do you just shove the whole thing in your face and eat the whole thing? It's like, no, it gets all over.
Right.
I say, okay, so what do? You cut a piece. Yes, you cut a piece of pie, right?
Yeah.
But do you eat the whole slice at one time? No! So you take a forkful, right? So by limiting it, you can eat the whole pie, right? In little forkfuls. So what I do with teaching a song is I try to limit how much we're working on. I might give them an overview, say, here's the whole pie. And then I even use Post-it notes, and I cover up most of the page and say, look, this little window here.
Oh, that is brilliant.
We're just going to work in this focus window.
Yeah.
And we're going to work on that until it's easy. And they're like, oh, I can do that. And some kids are like, the kids who have fear of failure, who don't want to try anything that they might fail.
Right.
And like go all the way down. Like, look, it's just 2 notes. It's like, I can do that. All right, you got it. And then we move the window.
And then you expand
it and expand
that world.
Yes. So by limiting the scope of what you're working on, it doesn't feel so hard. And one of the things I also say is like, just aim to practice 5 minutes a day.
Oh!
Every single day.
You see, I could have done that.
Yeah, everybody says, I could do that.
I could do that.
And then, you know what? You're allowed to go more. Anytime.
You get hooked a little bit.
You can go further, but it has to be 5 minutes every day. Now, the greatest thing about 5 minutes a day is that you can always find 5 minutes a day.
Right.
And
Right.
once you start doing it, I also say try to do it the same time in the same place every day, right? It becomes, you're building a habit, right? In the beginning, it's effort. You got to keep doing it and making a schedule to do it. Then it becomes the routine, but then it becomes the habit that is unstoppable.
Yes, absolutely. Routine becomes habit, because nobody wanted to brush their teeth. Your mother had to make you brush your teeth, but now the idea of going to bed without brushing your teeth is like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're never too overwhelmed to do it.
Right. So doing a small amount every single day in the same time and space, and then limiting what you're working on will help you get over any kind of overwhelm. And one more key is don't practice what you already know.
Oh, what do you mean? That's interesting.
Practice what you don't know.
Practice.
So, if you are working on, well, for music, you can say, okay, I know the first part and I play it really well.
So that's your comfort zone.
Yeah, and that's automatic.
Yeah.
And it's just, it doesn't really help you get to be, people say 10,000 hours of practice.
Right.
But that means that we should all be like expert race car drivers by now. If we're driving for, any number of years, that's like 10,000 hours of driving. I would never be racing with Mario Andretti or anything.
Yeah.
Because they're practicing what they don't know.
Yeah.
They take the difficult thing and say, well, I don't really know that part. Let me just work on that. If you just worked on the difficult things every single day, they don't become difficult anymore, and you've just gone to another level. So if you were to translate that to, say, running a business, what's the little difficult thing that you don't want to do? Oh, I don't want to make that sales call.
Brilliant.
But the more you do that, it's like, oh, I'm getting better at this.
See, I knew that what you do was going to be the perfect metaphor for success, for achieving success.
You didn't even know that I have a book called The Game of Practice.
Really?
And it's with 53 tips to make
now,
practice
wait a minute.
fun.
Oh, so who wrote this book?
I wrote this
I
book.
love it. What's it called again? The Game of
The
Practice?
Game of Practice.
And how can people get that?
You can go right to Amazon right now and go to The Game of Practice with 53 tips to make practice fun and easy by Andrew Ingkavet. And it's right now, it's a Kindle ebook. It's $4.49.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna get it, because then I'm gonna steal it and translate it into career and life coaching.
Yeah. So it's that tip about the Post-it notes and the pie is in that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't even tell you about that.
This is like a racehorse. The racehorse has blinders,
Exactly.
Oh, God.
I noticed that working with kids, especially attention deficit kids.
Yeah. Which is, of course, I do ADD adults. Yeah.
It's like you just got to have focus.
That's right.
I used to even play around with using a flashlight and be like, just follow the spotlight.
I love it.
And they'd be like, oh, where's the light now? Where's the light? Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't inhibit your attention, of course you're going to get overwhelmed. And, that includes like the media.
Well,
and
even in this
everything.
room where I teach, I have the piano here. I used to have a big screen because anything in the room would become like a shiny object. It'd be like, oh,
interesting.
Squirrel.
That is so interesting.
So I'd have to narrow the focus as much as possible. If I had a new thing on the piano, it would be like, what's that? It's like, oh, don't pay attention to that. But it's impossible.
Yeah.
So I have to actually remove things sometimes just to keep it simple.
And that speaks to what's your environment like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I love
just
that.
keep it clear of clutter. And when you sit down to practice, know what you're going to practice and just work on that for 5 minutes. And you can always go longer.
So awesome, Andrew. This was better than I could have possibly imagined. This was so awesome. And we're going to have Andrew's website and everything in the, the comment. When we post this, you'll see in the post, we'll have ways to contact Andrew. All right. And so I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Share it wildly. And if you have suggestions for topics, please put those in the comments section. And we'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.
Thank you.